Okay, and Thursday. So for Thursday's bell ringer, the pattern was that they have to add across this way to get this number, but they also have to add this way to get this number. So the only number that would work here is 0, because 4 plus 6 is already 10, so 0 goes here. 3 plus 2 is 5, so I need a 7 here to get to 12. So 3 plus 2 plus 7 equals 12, so 7 goes here. And then I can check 0 plus 7 is 7, plus 5 more is 12 to make sure it works down here. And that's where I'm going to get these numbers here, is to go down this way. So 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 5 equals 12, so 5 goes here. 2 plus 2 is 8, plus 2 more equals 10, so 2 goes here, and then you can check going this way. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 5 more is 12, so that's how you fill that in. When we left off Wednesday, we were looking at this graph, and it went by tens, groups of tens to produce fruit, and then we changed our data to go by fives. So we made a new frequency table and changed our values to go by fives, and then made a new histogram. This is all in that packet for you to do, so that we see a slightly different graph here. And you can tell that this graph has just a little bit of a different shape. It shows like the 2 peaks rather than just the 1 peak. So we talked about how sometimes we have to mess around with the interval widths, which would either be by 10 or by 5 that we did in those 2 examples, to figure out which gives the best sense of the shape of distribution. So we talked about what might be a problem with using interval widths that are too large. Like this one, you don't see the true shape. You only see that U shape instead of that more detailed shape here. So if you have them too big, you can't quite see what you're looking for. And then the same if you have them too small, you might get too much information that doesn't really give you a general sense. It's more specific, and it doesn't help you summarize. It more just tells you what is going on. Things to consider when choosing the width of the interval is maybe how much data you have. If you don't have a lot of data, you might use smaller intervals. And if you have a lot of data, like 100 different points, then you might use larger intervals to fit it in too. So then we talked about a box plot, and we just kind of reviewed. We used those same numbers, and we made a box plot with it. Remember that when making a box plot, you have to find the minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum. And in order to do that, you have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest first before you can do anything. If I just do a quick example, I'll just kind of make some up right here. 2, sorry. Let me start that over. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6. And then if I'm looking at these numbers, this is my maximum, my largest. This is my